Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this foggy Tuesday morning, October 4th. And the headlines for the day and for the week. We got fog out there this morning, a number of school delays out there, especially across eastern and southeastern lower Michigan over into the Saginaw Valley. We expect plenty of fog this morning. It may take a while for it to burn off. And so that's going to come in called into question our highs in the 70s. If we hang in there with those low clouds, we may stop in the mid to upper 60s. But if we can see some sunshine, I think we'll break into the 70s. And then the biggest story is going to be Hurricane Matthew, which is tearing through Haiti right now, and it's on its way to the Bahamas. But I tell you what, Haiti, it couldn't be in a worse position with this particular storm, with winds 140 miles an hour expected across parts of that area. And they could see up to 40 inches of rain with extremely high surges across that region. And again, that's heading for the Bahamas, and eventually, I think, people in Florida up through the Carolinas could see tropical storm, maybe even hurricane warning type weather, as that system right now, the cone of it would be just offshore, but really having a pretty significant effect on the coastal areas of all of those states. But again, some of the models have been trending further and further west, and some even indicate the possibility that it could actually go inland into the state of Florida. So certainly people down there need to be on high alert. And then behind this system for us, we'll have temperatures cooling down into the 50s over the weekend. If we look at the normals of the day, our normal high is 65, the normal low is 43. And across the area yesterday, temperatures mainly in the mid-60s across the state. A little bit of rainfall in Brown City and over into southwest Ontario, catching some of the back spin of that upper level low early in the day as it moved off. But again, with lots of clouds yesterday, our temperatures were pretty uniform. And again, today looks like we could get into the 70s if we get some sunshine. Out there this morning, you can see temperatures mainly in the low to mid 50s. And again, it looks like a pretty mild day. Those are a little bit above normal as far as overnight lows. And I think we'll see that being the case for much of the next 4 days as we see some pretty warm overnight lows. We'll have an increasing chance of thunderstorms as we get towards midweek and the end of the week. You can see out in Blissfield this morning, lots of fog out there. And again, that's the story across much of the area. And if we look at the watches and warnings, we've got fog advisories across much of southeast lower Michigan, which does include the Blissfield and the Jasper locations. If we look at the storm track for the Hurricane Matthew, you can see right now, this is like the absolute worst spot it could be if you were in portions of Haiti. And again, it's going to move up to the northeast towards the Bahamas and then potentially make a V-line towards Florida. Eventually, it'll kick off to the northeast out to sea. But again, we've got to watch these models as they continue to trend a little bit more west with the last few runs, especially the European. You can see on satellite that powerful hurricane turning its way again through Haiti. And it's a very slow mover, and it's just going to cause an extreme amount of devastation down there. So certainly do say some prayers for those folks down there. If we look at the weather map out there this morning, you can see area of low pressure. It's going to be dominating the center part of the country. Going to be very slow to move. This is a pretty slow moving pattern that we're in right now, courtesy of that big upper low and the hurricane. Things aren't moving along too fast right now. So most of the precipitation over the next 5 days is going to be across areas from Oklahoma up into Wisconsin, Minnesota, as it looks right now. And by tomorrow morning, the low pressure systems, again, continue to track off to our northwest. Eventually, this cold front does make it through, but it's going to take till the end of the week before we get a little bit better push from a system out west. And by Thursday morning, you can see once again that front just inching ever so closely, but we should be in the situation where we'll start to see thunderstorms develop on a scattered basis beginning tomorrow afternoon and stretching right into Friday night, maybe even a few showers on Saturday morning. If we look at the precipitation expected across the area, you can see the heaviest rainfall will be back across Wisconsin into northwest lower Michigan, although all the area looks like it'll pick up a chance of picking up around 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. Precipitation amounts well over an inch are certainly possible once you get north of about a Bay City to Holland line. And if we look at the next map, again, you can see the snowfall cover. This was a couple days ago, and it's increasing a little bit, not a whole lot, but again, we're starting to build that snowpack up across the north. And when we start to see it really fill in across this area, then anything can happen at that time. And we do expect some colder air to really flip from a pretty decent pattern sometime in November it's going to really turn, and I think November could be a big lake effect snow event for a lot of the Great Lakes. If you look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, again, normal to a little bit below normal across the Midwest, Great Lakes, and the Northeast. And this ridge out west will eventually break down again, and we'll see those warm temperatures shift off to the east as we get into the 8 to 14 day outlook. As far as precipitation, you can see looks like it'll be around near to a little bit above normal across much of the area from Texas to the Great Lakes and for northern New England. Thanks for stopping by and have your, well, actually I got one more map, and this is the 90-day outlook. That's for January, February, and March, and we should be getting some new maps in. And again, we showed the December, January, February, March yesterday, showing that colder normal air across northern Michigan back to the Dakotas. And again, for the months of January, February, March, would continue that trend of having the coldest air in the country across the Great Lakes back to the Dakotas, as we were talking about yesterday. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.